Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of the You'll Have That podcast. We got some juicy topics today, but before that, let me run into some things that we want to get out of the way. So, thank you to the new subscribers and viewers that are joining us. We have a topic that was recommended by one of them, Ellery. Thanks for listening, El. Samsung versus Apple in terms of their phone security measures. We'll get into that in a second. And another thing, welcome Noah. Welcome as a new listener. Noah suggested, in addition to that, to maybe doing some like show reaction sort of content that maybe we'll do on Patreon or something, where channel members and stuff you could pay a little bit and get a little bit of bonus content. So we'll think about that. We might do that and have that be a thing. So welcome. Let's begin. Hello, Twiz, Jaboon. You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, this is Jaboon. You know Jaboon. I'm here every day of the week. I don't know what else to say. I'm just Jaboon. Down below is Twiz or up. I don't know where he's at, but he's somewhere. It's
He's
like
to your
Carmen San
left.
Diego. You don't know where he's at.
And I'm Twiz. I'm just here.
I'm just here.
I'm just here.
Aren't we
today.
all?
I work here.
I
All
work
right.
here. My coworkers.
Right. Alrighty. So, an interesting topic that Elle brought to us was that they had a personal experience with this actually. So, I believe her little brother, I might be wrong about this. I'm gonna be a little vague on this, obviously. Her little brother had their phone lost or stolen, one of the two, and yeah, I think it was lost actually, and it was a Samsung device, right? And they went to the authorities to pursue, to file a report and all that. And it was told to her that apparently they didn't have the Find My Android thing or whatever it's called. That like thing, that security thing.
Yeah, the Find Your iPhone or whatever.
Yeah, it's the Android equivalent pretty much. Apparently that was disabled somehow, or the phone was off. I think the phone was off. That's what it was. So whoever got it, if someone did get it, turned off the phone or disabled it, whatever it is, and it turns it off. So you don't know where it's at anymore. Now she brought this up in that I think it's the detective or whoever is doing the case or whatever, said that if they had an iPhone, actually, even if the phone's off, it still sends your information. And I thought that can be right. Surely not. And lo and behold, no, actually, after doing a little bit of research, even if the phone's off, the iPhone still will have its location and Find My iPhone, which I thought.
Also, Apple also has this thing where it saves some of the battery. Like, even though it says that the iPhone is dead or whatever, there's still
like
a bit of
1%,
battery
right,
left to be able to do the Find My iPhone.
Yeah, which I think is a great, like, that's a pretty clutch feature, right? So that's an interesting topic I want to kind of get into. And what did you think? Like so me and Twiz here have iPhones. I think Jaboon here has a Pixel, so he's Team Android there.
I had a Pixel. I don't have no iPhone. Haven't had one since 2016.
Now, me and I, at least I am not a fanboy at all. I flip flop between Android and iOS all the time. Usually it's like 2 years I go iOS, 2 years I go Android, and vice versa. Twiz
normally
here,
I stick with Android.
Yeah, Twiz.
What I normally stick with, but I decided to give Apple a try.
Now
there
with
are some features with Apple that I like. There's a lot that I don't like. But for the most part, if you want a reliable phone that does phone things and a little bit extra, iPhone.
I was gonna say, in addition, with the last episode, we had the whole drama with the Samsung techs and what they did with the TV, like slashing and all that.
Yeah.
So we've had that issue, and I think Twiz has brought up the issue of my Fold where it was wasn't able to call. So we also had that issue. So we're starting to see a lot of Samsung issues here, and this is yet another kind of nail in the coffin per se. Well, figuratively. By the way, I just realized the topic's incorrect, so I'll fix that. But anyway, but yeah, what do we think about this? I mean, it seems like Samsung's taking some big L's here.
Well, with any company, they're gonna have wins, they're gonna have losses. I remember my cousin's girlfriend. She is an iPhone fangirl, bruh. Fangirl.
Oh yeah.
All right. And her Find My iPhone didn't help her at all. Now, is
Mm.
what happened was they were in Walmart. They were grocery shopping or doing whatever they were doing. She set her phone down or something. Someone got it at the same Walmart. At the same exact Walmart. They went to that little kiosk
Oh
thing where
yeah.
you drop your phone in to get money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what these people did. They got the money and everything. She never got her iPhone back. Never got her iPhone back. Walmart would not give her her phone back.
Oh wow.
The police would not make Walmart give her her phone back. And the people that stole her phone got away with it scot-free, even though they were on camera and everything else. Is what the cop said, is that the video footage didn't show enough of their face or something like that. That they didn't get a license plate in the parking
Mm.
lot, whatever. But yeah,
There's
she
basically
did
like
not.
no identifiable information, right?
But the bad part about it is Walmart wouldn't even give her her phone back. Meanwhile, it's in the bin right there by the door.
Exactly.
Right, like there's evidence there.
And
Why are you not
it's
reimbursing her?
proven that she didn't put her phone in there. It was still a phone that was being paid on. It was under contract. So
Also, I'd like to welcome Brian in chat. Hey, they literally did not help her. How rude. Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's terrible. I mean, you're supposed to go to the authorities for things like this, and here they are not helping you. So it's like, who else do you go to, right? Um, but yeah, that's pretty insane. You'd think that literally in the same Walmart, they drop it and put it into the phone sale, like the little kiosk thing. They'd be able to just get it. But I wonder if that has to do with not being able to like have any concrete evidence in terms of pinpointing it's that exact phone, right? Because what if you just, I mean, a lot of people have iPhones, right? So what if you just say
call it.
silver?
I mean, yeah,
Right, call
it.
it.
You
Yeah.
can open the bin.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll run, check it for
yeah.
information. Like,
Yeah, I mean, she could show. So, Jesse was with her. They used her phone to show that the Find My iPhone was literally, it was pinging.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you could hear it through this bin, the little dee or whatever. You could hear it.
Oh, geez.
And
still didn't help her.
Walmart was just like, no, we can't do that. Sorry. Something about the contract with that bin, and that the money
Oh.
had been paid out and
Mm.
she would have to give the money back. So basically, you're going to charge the victim
The price of what the phone just sold for
the
being
price
stolen.
of what the phone just sold for,
Yeah.
because it was stolen.
That's terrible.
Instead of being all like, you know what, this phone was stolen, we're going to take the L and file the police. I'll guarantee if Walmart filed that police report and not her, those people would have been found.
Oh, absolutely.
Not to sound like a
Absolutely.
conspiracy theorist or anything like that,
Mhm.
but that's just the way it goes. It reminds me of whenever your truck was stolen.
Mm.
We had to pay the cost of the tow,
Yep.
even though we were the victims.
It seems like you're almost getting, you're getting
double screwed.
exactly, from being stolen and then in addition to the recovery and all that.
To add insult to injury, if you want your stuff back, you have to pay us.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
I didn't
It's
choose.
crazy.
Right. I didn't choose to be the victim.
Right.
It's like, I feel like a lot of these big companies used to like actually care, and they would go out of their way. Like if any of these kinds of situations happened,
Yeah.
they would be on the customer's side, or fight tooth and nail to make sure that customer at least has some sort of reimbursement. It's like you're not seeing that with any companies anymore, whether it be that they were highly reputable back in the day, or multi-billion-dollar companies, because it's just much more. It's simpler for them to just not do anything, or
Just turn the
follow this
cheek.
little bit of contract. Like I get it with these bins, right? You have like what is it, Coinstar and all that. I used to work at a grocery store. I get it if somebody like turns somebody else's stuff in. It's kind of a sticky situation. But there had to be a better way of handling that.
If somebody turns somebody else's coins in, there's no way that they can find it. But there are so many ways to figure out, hey, this iPhone is this person's. And the fact that it was on camera that it was not her that put that phone in the bin, and it's her phone in her name, and she even filed her police report, she should have been given her phone back.
Absolutely
Well, that's the
agreed.
whole thing. Exactly. There's
But
like
at
so
this
much
point,
evidence.
At this point, I am of the mindset that even if you're a human being and you're in customer service, I automatically assume that you're just AI.
It does seem like that today.
You cut and paste something from a script to give me some psychobabble bullshit about the terms of service agreement, just like Blizzard's doing right now.
Yeah, that's a very recent, where Blizzard's just any appeals, they just copy and paste terms of service.
Also Bethesda too.
But Zenmark, yeah, or Zendesk. Sorry, Zendesk is it? I think is their.
Not even Zendesk. It's like not even just Zendesk. Like on like Steam reviews for Starfield and all that. They're doing the exact same thing. It's just it's copy paste.
It's almost every customer service industry, to be honest. I mean, call your ISP. All right. If you have your own modem and router, they're going to blame your modem and router for the internet problems, not the fact that, hey, a car a mile down the road just struck one of their nodes or something. No, that has nothing to do with it. It's your modem and router.
It's your equipment,
exactly.
Right.
It's
like
because you're not getting it from us.
I think Noah here brings a good counter argument, if you will, or a question per se. He said, but do you think people would start abusing the system if companies did that? If they started, reimbursing and being more consumer friendly versus kind of taking this very cold and methodical and approach to it? Do you think people would start abusing the system here?
But at the same time, how would they abuse the system in 2024 with every camera everywhere?
Well, it's like you said, it's like you said, the cop said there wasn't like a clearly identifying video of the person and all that. So, for example, me and there's a ton of iPhones, right? So the likelihood of an iPhone being in that box is pretty high. So we could just be like, oh, yeah, there's an iPhone 10 that just got returned in there that's actually mine. I just tracked it here, where it's really not.
You would have to prove that it's yours, right? And to be able to, it's very easy to prove that because there's going to be a phone number attached to it, or you can show them your Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile account. That's going to have the serial number to that phone attached to it.
You also have personal photos.
In a way, I understand the question, and I get that in some industries and in some instances, yes, somebody probably could abuse the system. But in that instance, like, nah, there's no way for abuse. Not to mention, let's just talk about the fact that Walmart, as a multi-billion-dollar industry,
huge,
and even uses facial recognition. Had that been Walmart to file that charge, the cops and Walmart themselves would have taken enough time to go back on the cameras to find the same clothing that person wore whenever they came in and had a good image of that person's face.
That's a good point, yeah.
Because to take that phone, they had to go to the checkout, and every single one of those self-checkouts has a camera right there.
That's true.
In your face.
That's true, right.
All right. But because it was her, Walmart's not going to waste the time to pay an employee to sit back there with the loss prevention team to do that, because it's not, at that point, it's not Walmart being stolen from. It's one of their customers.
Exactly.
So who cares?
Right. That's very true. And Noah again here. For example, I needed a phone. Let's have a friend drop off their phone, so they get a free phone, and now the person that recovers the phone gets a phone too, sort of thing, maybe.
So how did they get a free phone though?
So let's say you have a friend drop your phone off, right?
Right.
And then you claim that your phone got stolen.
Okay.
So you get another phone from the company, because this is assuming the company would have goodwill, right?
No. So if you claim that your phone was stolen and it's pinging in that bin, and you can show that it's pinging in that bin, you're only getting the phone that was dropped off into that bin. There's no free phone coming out of it.
Right,
it's the same phone.
But we're assuming here that might be an issue with the contract with whatever coins, whatever the heck it's called, that return service or whatever for phones.
Okay, regardless, even if that phone goes to the other place, all you're getting back is the same exact phone that you had, or one that was like
I suppose, yeah, that's a good point, yeah. Okay.
Because
All right, fair enough.
even if it's broken, that thing scans and says, "Hey, this device was broken. I'm not accepting it."
Okay.
Right.
So it's not like you can do that. You can't even scam your because somebody once, whenever the insurance for devices came out for like
Oh,
AT&T and
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
was all like, "Oh, you can scam them and get free devices," and I'm all like, "No, you can't. First of all, you have to put the claim in, you have to do the deductible, and if you don't send the phone back, you're charged for the full price of the phone."
Not to mention, a lot, if not all companies today, if you do a claim on the phone and the phone's still active, they'll deactivate it remotely. So
Yeah.
you'll have
Right,
an
so it's just zilch.
IMEI locked phone, which is exactly
Yeah,
as Jabin's
blacklisted phone, it can't go onto any other network.
exactly. It can't even boot up, so or it can't even get into the operating system. You'd have to
And you
like do some weird
and
thing.
you're charged the full price for the phone, even though you've already paid that same phone halfway off or something.
Yeah.
So then you pay full price for the phone that you didn't return,
Right.
and you're still paying the rest of your contract.
Exactly. It's a loss sort of thing, right?
So there's no way to do that. Now, like I said, there are some instances, and I'm not saying, hey, go off blind faith. I'm not saying that.
Mhm.
I am saying that there should be certain criteria that you must meet
Yeah.
for them to give you your stuff back. But fact of the matter is like, you hear this phone pinging in there. The cops are
It's
here.
pretty
She
obvious.
filed a report.
Yeah.
Nobody's just gonna have. And what friend do you know is gonna be all like, okay, imagine this conversation at home, right? Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you my phone. You're gonna go to Walmart. You're gonna put this phone into the bin, right? Then I'm gonna tell the Walmart employees that my phone was stolen and it's in the bin. Then we're gonna call the police and I'm gonna file charges, or I'm gonna do a report, which will, if you're caught, will have charges on you, right? What friend is gonna risk being
That's
charged? Because every
fair,
single
yeah.
phone is over the amount of $500. At that point,
It'll be
you're a
felony.
felon.
Yeah, it's felony amount, right? That's true.
Yeah.
That's no longer petty theft. Fair enough.
Right. And there have been like YouTube criminals that have robbed banks that said that they would prefer to go and rob a bank instead of robbing Walmart because of Walmart's facial recognition software
Mm.
and how good their cameras are.
Yeah, I mean that Walmart's what, $1 trillion industry or so. It's crazy. It's
Some
very
shit like
big.
that. It's insane.
Have you guys watched
Um,
Larry Lawton?
Yes,
He's a
yeah,
Right.
Larry
And
Lawton,
he's,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
He's the one
I
that said
think he's
that.
the guy that said that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I love that guy.
So,
Yeah, huge shout out to
like,
Larry. He's pretty good. Okay, that's
now,
fair.
I get it with like video games or something like that. For
Like GameStop.
example, oh, well, not even GameStop, but like Bethesda and even Blizzard in some cases, like, oh, this got deleted, or this item that I had got, somehow just poofed.
Mhm.
Can I get my item back? If they did that for every single person that put in a support ticket, they would be wading through millions of support tickets. And who knows, some really tired employee just might be like, you know what? Here's a legendary whatever for everybody, just like Oprah.
Yeah, yeah.
This
And then,
accidentally gives your boy Shadow Word.
right. And then, you're on a slippery slope with that. So yeah, I get that. But at the same time, like this stonewalled customer service industry is insane, because like I have called my ISP plenty of times.
I was
You
about to
know it.
say let's talk about ISPs and their support. Let's
Right.
talk
And
about that. And
it is
Amazon as well.
you get stonewalled these days with your ISP.
Absolutely.
Amazon is getting that way. Not so much yet, but
They're
they're
very
trending
close.
that way very quickly.
Yeah.
But no, I have called my ISP so many times and they have literally said, "Oh yeah, your signal looks a little iffy," or something like that. But instead of taking the blame and instead of wanting to set up a technician to come to my house to fix the issue,
Mhm.
past rebooting or refreshing my signal from their end, they want to blame my equipment. Because
It's
my
yeah.
equipment is not theirs, because I am not paying them the extra $5 or $10 a month in perpetuity to be able to use their equipment
To
because I'm
rent
using
it,
my
right.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah, to rent their equipment because I'm using my own, which is 10 times better
Oh,
than any
vastly.
bullshit that an ISP will give you.
Yeah.
No, it's your equipment. So I have to
Yeah.
literally fight with them and tell them, send a technician to my house to fix this.
And it's not one request or two. It's more like you have to reiterate it almost
Right.
5-6 times for them to be like, okay, all right, we'll send
So
one.
they'll finally send the technician out. The technician comes and he's all like, no, it's not your equipment. This is the best. Like, this is the best equipment I've seen in a month at a customer's house. Right.
Yep.
Definitely not your equipment. It's this. And 9 times out of 10, it's got something to do with a wire or a node.
That's completely
somewhere.
out of
Has
our
nothing
control.
to do with the customer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the weird part is, right, is it's usually never the tech that's like this mentality, right? It's always the customer support. The tech usually comes out, it's like, well, why would they tell you that? Clearly it is a
Yeah,
problem.
I tell the customers, I tell the tech that
Mhm.
customer support said this, and they roll their eyes so hard their eyeballs are about to flop out onto my floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Because
dude,
they're like, why? This is so stupid. It's literally a 20-minute fix right outside.
Yep.
Because of whatever, a fucking squirrel chewed through the wire. Or
These
something.
things happen over time, right?
Whatever. It's a 10 or 20-minute fix, and the customer's happy. Why wouldn't you want your customer to be happy?
Yeah. Jaboon, what do you think about this? I mean, have you had these
with the
issues?
whole like ISPs. Oh, I've had so many issues with ISPs.
Oh, I know. I've heard you bitch.
He's heard. Okay, so for anybody, I don't know if anybody's heard of Spectrum. I feel like they have. I used to run with Spectrum back like early 2021 up to 2023, and the experience was miserable.
I hated Spectrum for you.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He was here with my whole 2-year struggle with Spectrum. So I want to explain my like whole experience with Spectrum as a company. So when we first got here, we got our box and everything. For like the first like month or so, it worked okay. But we get more things in the house. We're getting more computers set up, everything. And because how these the companies are set up these days, these ISPs, they're not going to give you good equipment for your plan. I'm going to tell you right now. We had the second best plan, which I believe was like 500 megabits. They gave us a router, and I remember we and Twiz looked this up. We looked up this
The
exact
router
router,
could only support 100 megs.
Oh wow.
and it was like this ancient router. It wasn't a Spectrum brand or nothing. The only thing
it was one of the. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No, you're
off. I
okay.
just remember
it
what
was like
the
a
router was.
Qualcomm or something.
No, it was an Eris.
Oh, the
Eris.
Eris,
The
yeah.
oldest
Yes.
Eris routers you could get. Matter of fact,
Wow.
I had that exact router in rural North Carolina in 2016 whenever they first got 100 megs.
Wow.
And okay, so and explain what that was the exact issue, right? Because I had called technicians out at least 4 or 5 times before this, and I'm gonna tell you everything that they did. The first, they're like, "Oh, it's a squirrel through the line." So for like 2 or 3 days, they had technicians sent out to fix the lines. They fixed the
You
lines.
didn't have internet then too. For 2 or 3 days, you
For
didn't
2 or
have
3
internet.
days, I didn't have internet.
Wow.
And guess what? Well, when it was back up, Wes can confirm this. It was still happening.
Same issue.
And then next time I call them out again, they're like, "Oh, we need to fix a splitter." So they install like a whole splitter full of cables and everything for some fucking reason. I don't know why.
That's just degradation to the internet line because
Exactly.
the signal was too strong for that modem. So they were literally splitting his internet connection
Mhm.
to make the signal quality worse so the fucking modem could handle
survive.
it.
Jeez.
And they didn't say it was the modem at all. Like every time they kept coming out, they would not admit that it was their hardware. They wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
Well, they won't because it's theirs.
Because
Exactly.
So what ends up happening is, they do that for like a week. It looked like it was getting better, but of course, what is the term like they call it where it's like you do something and it looks like things are like going better.
Oh,
or
placebo.
running better.
It's like a placebo effect.
It was placebo effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a placebo effect for like a week. And then me and Twiz are playing Fortnite while Austin has some, or Waseps has some things going on.
I remember that.
And I was sitting here popping off in the lobby. All of a sudden,
he freezes and goes away.
Right. And then I come back on and he can hear me shouting, "What the fuck?" Like I was so flabbergasted. I was like, this is still happening.
Yeah,
So
no
like,
shit. No shit. He was at like 23 kills in Fortnite.
and yeah, and this is like back in what, like chapter 2, season 6. So it was a long time ago.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a little
And
bit.
after that, when we was like, okay, maybe it was like a one-time thing. Like maybe it was just like late night having issues.
Mhm.
It was not late night.
I
issues.
knew better. I was just saying that because I wanted to keep playing.
he did. He did. And then like we started doing internet speed tests after, because like what happened throughout like the rest of our matches
Mhm.
was I was playing and all of a sudden I would stop. And then eventually it would come back. And it was a miracle. Every time this happened, I didn't die. I don't know what the luck was when we were it was like Final Destination.
At
me
this
playing
point, it was
Fortnite.
random drops. Like you would see Jaboon's character, he would be running, and then all of a sudden he would just doop,
Stop and
character
like
would
at
just
most running in place.
Yeah.
stand there
Yeah.
or run in place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
And
be in the
then-
animation of reloading. So
Yeah.
it would just keep doing this. And I'm all like, okay. So I'd just kind of stand around and build a box around him and hope nobody came.
Right.
And it would happen during intense build fights too. I'm surprised I wouldn't die during these times. Like I wish I was making this up, man. It would happen during the worst times.
Yep.
And yet I still somehow lived. Still somehow managed to play Fortnite. I maxed out the battle pass that season, but I digress. So eventually me and Twiz were sitting there late night. I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. We spent like 2 or 3 hours looking at this because like I was fed up. I was pissed. One, the download speed was always fine, but online games and all that really depend on your upload speed too. So we were doing internet speed tests to start, and my
The
phone
upload
had
was trash. He was
the upload
supposed
was
to have.
trash.
He was
Mm.
supposed to have. I think it was either
I think it was at least
40 or 50 upload.
and then when
your
you do the speed
upload-
test,
Your upload wouldn't get past 10.
and then the
And
line
his
for it,
download at that time, he was on Wi-Fi. And I noticed that his download would never get above 90. But
Mm.
download 90 megs, that's fine. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, wait a minute. Because I had the same issue with what was it? Northland Cable.
The same exact thing with Northland. I remember it's the same same exact thing.
So I was all like, I don't think that you're I think it's got something to do with your modem.
But as Jabun was saying,
I run downstairs. I'm sitting here doing the whole, Home Alone. I'm running downstairs. I got my phone. I had like a Samsung Galaxy S5 at the time. I'm sitting there like taking a picture of the I'm taking a picture of the router, and I got it. This was the breakthrough. So I get the picture of the router. I come back up. I show it to Twiz, and he's like, "Oh my god, I know exactly what is wrong." And then it hit me like a truck. This piece of shit router that this company gave me for my 500 megabit plan,
Yep.
I'm paying almost $100 for a month at the time. Can't even support the speed for my plan, and they still gave that to me as a part of my package.
Well, also, if you remember, whenever you called them the next day, they tried to be on that old Fugazi shit and tell you that modem could handle it.
Yes, and
could
then
or
my mom,
couldn't.
They could.
could.
Because they even told my
They-
mom.
they
My
kept
mom
telling
told them
him-
too.
They kept telling him that it could.
Mm.
So they're telling him that, they're telling his mom that, and I'm all like, no, look. And I send the link for that router, and it's literally max speed 100 meg.
Yo, if you give me a second, I might have the router that I've replaced it with still in my closet. Hold on. Let
Oh,
me check
God.
for Jaboon artifact's sake.
All right.
So
Jaboon
I ended up buying
artifact.
a whole new router the next day. Me and Twiz found a perfect one. It was a Netgear Nighthawk. Hold
Yep.
on.
That was the one I was using at that time.
I think a lot of people use that. I know we used it.
I think it was
and
the CM1000 or the CM. No, it was the CM900.
I think it was 1000. The 1000 sounds about right.
Anybody who's watching the podcast
Yeah,
right now,
that's-
this thing right here.
That's
This
the one.
thing
I
Oh
was
is-
using.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this thing fixed everything. Okay? Now I gotta turn off my closet light. Give me like 5 seconds. Oh my gosh.
But that's
Yeah.
that just goes to show, like, they're getting to where they don't care.
This
really
thing
are.
right here fixed all of my problems that I had for almost a year straight after moving. A whole year. was fixed with this one $100 purchase. And then they kept trying to tell me afterwards that I should switch back to their hardware, and that it was the router's problem. Like this,
Well, every
this thing
time
was
he
like,
had an issue after that, it was his router's problem because it was
exactly.
his
Ugh,
equipment.
of
And they
course.
would refuse to reset the connection. They would refuse to send a technician out. Anything that could fix it in like 20 minutes, they would not do. It was always something wrong with my new equipment. But you know what would happen? I would go flush DNS. I would reset the router. Worked flawlessly.
Hmm.
After I had replaced their dog water hardware, they gave me. I'm sorry, but it's dog water. They gave me subpar, below par, actually. Hardware to go with my premium plan that's supposed to be for high end, workloads, like, for good work, for, high end streaming, all the stuff that they advertise trying to get you on the hook. But you know what? It couldn't even handle running YouTube 1080p. So that's sad. It couldn't handle it because I was handicapped by my router.
Wow.
So, thank you, Spectrum. But after that, now I'm with AT&T. I have fiber. It's been better ever since. Nothing's been wrong. So Spectrum, fuck you.
I don't know. Sometimes AT&T's internet
As
makes
iffy
my
too,
eye
but,
twitch.
That's
don't get me
I
wrong, it's iffy
personally
too, but
have had terrible experiences with AT&T's internet myself, but
I'll take it over Charter
I would
Spectrum
definitely
any day of
take
the
I would
week.
take it over the problems he was having any day of the week, because yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which again, with customer service and just TOS, all of this, that can bring us on over to where YouTube is starting to pull their bull crap with Lewis Rossman and trying to sue him over his Gray J app because it, air quotes, violates their terms of service. In other words, it could possibly make it to where YouTube doesn't make as much money as they possibly can off of their creators and their viewers.
hmm
And is what the Gray J app does is, instead of you subscribing basically to YouTube, you subscribe to the creator. So you can follow them across all platforms, not just the one. Well, that's stuck in YouTube's crawl. And now they're trying to run down his throat about their terms of service agreements and blah blah blah. And yeah.
They're trying to say that this guy who goes to multiple right to repair hearings and has won 3 of them for 3 different states over the course of a year is breaking YouTube TOS and is breaking the law.
YouTube needs to leave this man alone. He is doing God's work for the tech community. So they need to leave him alone.
Not just that, this man knows what he's doing when it comes to legal stuff. So to try and threaten him with legal repercussions, you know what he said? Like, I think Twiz knows what he said in response to that, but I don't think Wasp has heard that. So what he said is, I have won 3 right to repair lawsuits in 3 different countries over the course of a year and under $1 million. You
hmm
want to add 3 zeros to that? Let's do it. We'll see
Well,
how much fun I have.
the bad
Wow.
part about it is instead of, like, YouTube's not threatening to ban this man. Um, they're threatening him with a lawsuit or demonetization is what they're
Which
threatening.
arguably the demonetization part is almost as bad as banning, because that's his livelihood too. That he makes money off of that.
I mean, yeah, but it's like he said in plenty of videos that YouTube isn't his go-to
Oh, okay.
for his videos.
Fair enough.
Right, he
He
owns his own repair shops.
Yeah, he does his own repairs, but as far as his videos go,
hmm
he puts them everywhere. He puts them on all the platforms, not just
Hmm.
YouTube. And YouTube is the only platform that has the issue with him promoting his app, which connects all creators on all platforms.
Okay.
So, for example, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Kick, TikTok, there's a
Yeah,
whole slew of
Rumble,
them.
things like that.
Rumble.
Yep.
Yeah. None of them have a problem with it. The only ones that do is YouTube. And that's very telling at how greedy YouTube has gotten and
Google. Yeah.
Google in general has gotten. All right. So you're one of the biggest platforms. All right. Twitch was like their biggest competitor, but now even Twitch is starting to fall off.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're already the biggest fish in the game, and you've tried to make it to where people's ad blockers don't work on their PCs so that they get flooded with ads.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're trying so desperately to shove YouTube Prime down every person's throat. It's not funny. And every time I open YouTube on my phone, tablet, laptop, or computer, I
You
get
want to
this
watch
little
this with
box
your
that
phone
pops
closed?
up and it wants me to subscribe to YouTube Live TV. I don't want your live TV. I have clicked no thanks for the past 2 years, probably a billion times. Like, get
YouTube's
that
like a
shit
Jehovah's
out of my
Witness.
face. If I didn't click it in the first 100, why
What
would
makes
I
you think
click
the
it
other?
now?
Yeah, right.
Right, like get the hint, dude.
Yep.
Like, come on, you're worse than those door-to-door salesmen that are
Now,
or
a couple
Jehovah's
thing.
Witness.
Jehovah's Witness, right, right.
To point out, by the way, Luis Rossmann has called out YouTube on all of these on his channel, by the way. Just so
Yeah.
we're clear, everybody's clear on the podcast and that's watching. That's probably another reason why they may have a bone to pick with him, is because this guy pulls no punches, whether it be in the courtroom or at hearings
Yeah.
or on YouTube or even in his own repair shop. This guy pulls no punches. He does not around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he
Right.
cares. And you need more people like that on YouTube. This guy is literally doing God's work. I don't mean to be a simp.
Exactly.
He's
Absolutely.
doing what we need.
Exactly. So yeah, he's not like a famous YouTuber, LTT.
Oh, don't talk about Linus. No,
He's not like him.
episode.
He's not out here like force feeding you every single ad and sponsorship and all of this. Like, I don't think to date, and I've watched a lot of Lewis Rossman's videos. I don't think to date that he has like done a little sponsorship segment in any of his videos or anything like that. And as a matter of fact, I think the most ads that he'll put into his videos, like one or two, one at the beginning and maybe one in the middle.
The most he's done is like at the end of videos, like sometimes he'll have like a he'll advertise like a product that he actually likes, or like a website or article, things like that. But it's
Yeah.
not like in an
Right, but
intrusive way.
it's
at
not.
the very end of everything. Like, you
But
don't
those
get
aren't
interrupted.
sponsorships, I don't think.
Right. He's not sponsored. It's just him
Yeah.
repping something he likes. That's it.
It kind of reminds me of another YouTuber, Flossie Carter. I watch him a lot, and he doesn't really do sponsorships unless he himself uses the product and actually enjoys the product and thinks it's a good product.
Right.
But in addition, another important thing here is talking about how Twitch handles this, and I think how YouTube does as well. So if you're a partner, if you have a partnership with Twitch or YouTube, you can essentially, you sign a contract. You have a contract that, because at that point, you know, you're making so much money and brand deals and all this that Twitch themselves or YouTube or Google, I guess, is offering to kind of sponsor you, if you will, as a partner. So I think in their terms, at least for Twitch, I know for a fact, in their terms, I don't know if they changed this, but used to be you cannot stream anywhere other than Twitch. You have to only stream on Twitch if you're a Twitch partner.
That bit him in the ass, didn't it?
Yeah. And now we have alternatives like Kick is a big one that just came out. That's essentially just like Twitch without the whole weird restrictions and the weird nudity stuff that's happening with Twitch lately and all that. It's very weird. And the gender discrimination, which I think we talked about.
It's Twitch has turned into a PG version of OnlyFans.
It's not even so much as that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, actually, yeah, it is literally that. But in addition, like, Twitch themselves are so sexist. There's a huge imbalancement between their male demographic and their female demographic. And it should be known that Twitch is primarily a game streaming service.
Right.
Which, I mean, I'm not trying to be sexist here, but the majority of that is going to be males. You're gonna have a
Right.
larger male population that's no lifing, World of Warcraft versus a female population that's no lifing World of Warcraft, for example.
On the
So
topic of that, sorry to interrupt.
no, you're
Did
good.
you
Go
guys
ahead.
hear that Pokimane left Twitch
I
apparently to go to
I did.
YouTube and blamed it on like it's like a very, I think, antagonistic like male environment for
Yep.
Twitch. Like that's I don't mean to be a dick, but what do you expect? It's not like I don't even see a lot of male streamers on there aside from like XQC and all them. Like they keep to their own bubble and just be like gambling addicts or
Well,
some
that's
shit,
the
dude.
thing is like you only see the old school streamers now that are male
Yeah.
that is still on that platform because at this point, if let a man's nipple slip,
You
bam.
gone.
Done. That's it.
But yeah,
Straight to jail.
But yet Katie over here can hop in a hot tub with nipple tassels on.
And
And
I'm
that's-
actually
that's
really,
fine.
I'm really happy Twiz brought that up because let's do a thought experiment here. Is when is the last time you've seen a new upcoming streamer on Twitch?
I haven't.
I can't remember.
At most, I've seen like an up and coming like streamer would at most be something like a VTuber or something like
Yeah.
that. Or
Yeah.
like the latest I've seen is Queso, but I think he's been around for a while, which I love Queso. He's a funny guy.
Right.
But
But it just
has to
shows
be
you.
very niche.
He
Yeah.
had already built a small community with Twitch before he got sponsored through Twitch. Well,
Partnered. They call it partnered, yeah.
with Twitch.
Right.
Mhm.
So once he got partnered, that partnership, he has to finish out that partnership before he can jump and go somewhere else. I would
Mhm.
guarantee as soon as whenever it ends, he'll probably be over on YouTube or Kick or Rumble or somewhere. Hell, even TikTok now does live streams for video gaming. And I see more gamers on TikTok that are actually gaming and not in a freaking blow up pool that they're calling a hot tub.
Yeah. Yep. And
Well-
there's this new trend with the whole speed dating and it's like you have all these avenues, right? That sure, if that's your work, if that's your hustle, okay, get your money, make that paper. Make that paper.
But
But there's
OnlyFans,
websites for that.
But the second you start complaining that we're objectifying women when you're participating in that and you're feeding into that, now that's hypocrisy. That is absolute hypocrisy. That's a bunch of BS. And if you're feeding into this, and you see more and more of these streamers now that are speed dating and doing all that, look, it's entertainment. I understand. If that's what you want to do, go do it. But don't complain about it when the platform starts steering to that, because that's what people want to watch.
well, the whole speed dating thing, like I thought this was Twitch, not Tinder.
Right. I mean,
Like
it's clearly, obviously, it's playing off of dating. It's not legitimizing dating. It's not like a real relationship or anything.
I know that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like the concept, in my opinion, is dog water. It's very look at me, look at me.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So instead of you having to be skilled, right, at a video game or something,
Hmm.
you can just go on there with a busty chest in a skimpy outfit, do that, and then in the daytime complain about how people are objectifying women.
I
Yep.
think the whole big issue is, and at least this is my summary on Twitch, as I used to be a streamer on there for quite a while. I think Twitch has become a whole platform. It's the platform of hypocrisy. I think that's like the best way to put it.
I like that. A
Ever
platform
since
of
not-
hypocrisy. Yep.
Exactly, because I think it all started once, I think like TikTok first like really started to grow. Which don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, there was still like streamers showing themselves off before that, right? Like that was a big thing for like a
Well,
handful, but it wasn't to that degree that we have today. And I
Right.
think once we got to the point where they cut down how much you were getting for your payouts from or subscriptions and all that, they just started taking a bigger cut
Yeah.
for like non like popular like big partnered streamers. Like they changed their plans and then they changed the rules, which we all saw that lately with nudity and all that.
Well, I feel like now, sorry to cut you off, but I
You're
feel
good,
like
go ahead.
now Twitch is nothing more than a promotion for people's OnlyFans and Pornhub pages.
I feel like if you
Honestly.
aren't partnered on Twitch, I think like the best way for Twitch is if you start going on Twitch, you grow and before you get partnered, you go somewhere else. I think that's the only thing Twitch is good for because the algorithm is terrible now. Every time I go on to Twitch, I'm not even getting recommended my old streamers I used to watch, like,
Mhm.
RuneScape streamers, Counter-Strike streamers, any like even just WoW streamers. I don't get recommended that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I get recommended when I first go on to Twitch?
Hot tub
A hot
streamers.
tub stream or people doing like see what's under the clothes and all like just really messed up
Right.
stuff, dude. Like I don't come on to Twitch for that.
Right. I get recommended that. I get recommended the gambling streams, which, okay, sure, that's gaming. Sure, whatever.
Actually, I think it's against the rules now to have gambling on Twitch. You can't do that.
Oh,
Why are
so
people still
they,
getting
they took
sponsored
that
for
away?
Yeah, there's not even a gambling category as far as I know. That's why Kick is a thing. Kick allows you to stream gambling because they're I don't know if they're partnered, but they're either funded or partnered or whatever with Stake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before that, there was the gambling. There was one where this dude, and you remember this because you're the one that showed it to me. This dude sat on stream and was doing copious amounts of weed, like in
Oh
every form
yeah.
you could
Yeah.
possibly think of.
Yeah.
And like to the point of like, is this dude gonna pass out?
I was very concerned. He was coughing up a lung, and usually I wouldn't watch something like that. I mean, Twiz, no, we're very much not like, yeah. But it's just I stumbled on it because it was completely randomly
Suggested.
and for a second, I looked at it and I was like, does Twitch even allow this? Is this legal?
Right.
And then I looked, I went in there, and the chat is all just egging this person on to, continue, indulging in the marijuana.
He was doing dabs. He was doing wax. He was doing pens, the vape pens, bong rips,
Mhm.
bowls, rolling huge doobies.
Everything.
And, if that's what you want to do with your life, that's great. But at the same time, like this dude was coughing so bad, like his whole face was turning red.
His eyes were bulging
blood
and
veins bulging.
everything.
His eyeballs were bulging. It was like, okay, this is kind of like, this is weird. This is very weird.
It almost was like someone trying to OD on stream, and it's like, how is this allowed? This does not seem. First of all, this is not a good look for the website. This is not a good look for sponsors. This is not a good look for someone that's just stumbling on Twitch that may be underage. Like, what are you showing them?
Right.
What are you? What is this?
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about partaking and smoking some herb or whatever. I think that in the correct moderation and in the correct setting, that is fine. But to be doing it that way, and that's all your stream is about, and you're on a platform that was literally created for gamers, I don't think that that's right.
Yeah, no, me neither, dude. It's just I think another thing that like kind of plays into it is I feel like over the past 3 or 4 years, we've seen like the audience like on Twitch like shift a lot.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Time. Like I've noticed over like we've seen like we've had our Wings of Redemption, we've had Only Use Me Blade, Only Use Me Blade being a good example. I don't know if he was on Twitch, but it was his audience that kept encouraging him to drink too. Like before, like he became like a big like huge alcoholic.
Oh wow. Wow.
The only way he got views and stuff was doing his drinking streams. If he didn't do a drinking stream, he would not get an audience at all.
Wow.
So I feel like a lot of people just enjoy seeing like these people, they like seeing them suffer, or they just like seeing other people do things they can't do.
Yeah.
So they keep encouraging it, and it leads into like a very what is it? Toxic? Not even toxic. It leads to like a very
It is a toxic.
It's a toxic
environment.
career, toxic environment.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I've seen people's lives be ruined over Twitch because they didn't do something that their fans want them to do.
Wings is a good example. Wings of Redemption. I mean, granted, the dude isn't an angel. I mean, no one's saying he is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's done some messed up stuff.
Yeah, but the amount of
about Wings.
harassment and just relentless. And another example is Delor. The dude got harassed off the platform pretty much. He got stalked, harassed, and all that. I mean,
And that's sad. It's really sad that happened to Deller because I love to watch it.
I love Deller too. I mean, he was a really wholesome, entertaining guy. Jabunir can tell you he's an early supporter of Deller.
I've watched Deller for a while. You know,
I mean, I don't know if I would say wholesome. He used to.
Okay, look. Yeah, but I feel like a lot of that, even though he did probably get pissed a good amount of times, but I feel
it's
like
theatrical.
The majority of it was theatrical. But
and relatable.
He was a good guy. Like when he wasn't playing, yeah, exactly. That's why I think I liked him so much. He was relatable. As many times I wanted to just go slam my fist onto a desk, I didn't.
Yeah,
like,
bro, that Walmart desk he had though.
Oh my god,
that took a beating and kept ticking.
Yeah,
like for real. If you don't know who Deller is, I suggest looking.
Please go watch his
YouTube and watch some of his VODs. Most definitely.
But it's a tragic story. I mean, dude's so funny, and he had a good community, as far as I know, at least.
And he was a good gamer too. Like, dude was cracked at games.
And he just had a few bad apples that just harassed him endlessly and stalked him.
Some guy actually came to his house, from what I heard. Like,
yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah,
like people take online shit way too seriously.
Oh,
Let's be real here, dude. Yeah. Especially like talking about Wings of Redemption. I know the guy can be a total piece of shit at sometimes. I know people think that. That's okay to think that. I understand. I've watched Wings as a VODs. I've watched Sean Ranklin. I've watched, Wing Tings. I've watched it all the way. And don't get me wrong, dude has done some fucked up things.
But has he? Now let's talk about that. Has he done fucked up things, or is it all?
No, he has. He there is proof that he's done some questionable things.
Okay,
but it's not.
Okay, look. Here's the best way to put it. Dude has had some questionable takes. He's done a lot of shock jock shit, and I think a lot of people took that as him being a total piece of shit, which to each their own.
Yeah.
But like the environment was different at the time. Dude was saying things to get views and to be funny because at the time that's his job. That's his bread and butter. Does he do like great things? No. Has he done great things? No. Has he done some messed up things sometimes? Sure. But
well, I've gotten into a few lobbies with him too, and I've heard him talking to his audience or whatever, and his personality is very. If depression had a photo of a person beside it, it would be him. So on the topic of like just bullying somebody, that's probably not the guy that you really want to go and bully because like dude's already depressed.
Very.
And not just that, dude. All these people tell him all the time and kept telling him, go get a job. You need to go get a job. Everybody told him this. You know what the guy starts doing? He starts trying to go get a job. He starts door dashing and all that. Every time he got a job, these trolls would go and make sure he got fired. So like, bro, you guys on the internet need to make up your fucking mind. You need to stop trying to dictate somebody else's life. I get it. You're not happy with this dude because he didn't get the surgery or whatever. All these things that happen. Fair enough, dude. But when this guy does, and he tries to get an actual physical job and do better for himself, like at a point he lost weight, he was trying to DoorDash. You ruined his opportunity to get an actual job. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. It's either
look at what happened to Boogie 2988. People showed up at his door too.
Yeah, but Boogie's a little bit of a different issue, I think. But Boogie's a lot of it's a lot of a deeper issue because Boogie himself has some very, very questionable things about him that he did. But with the Wings, I want to go to a VOD of Asmongold. Well, I'm not gonna show it, but Asmongold actually did a reaction to Wings because one of his viewers, requested it. And there's a lot of things that you instantly notice if you're looking for them, and Asmongold points it out. Wings has very bad social anxiety. You can tell. The dude's, no one noticed it, but Asmongold immediately said, "Look at the dude's chair; it's shaking." The dude's shaking while he's streaming because he's got anxiety. So he's just got your leg shakes naturally when you get anxious or something. That's him 24/7. So first of all, there's that. Then he has a lot of emotional meltdowns and he tries to talk to his audience like it's a real person. And I think that's more detrimental than helpful because you're showing people your weaknesses. And there's a lot of pieces of shit on the internet. There's a lot. And a lot of these people get off to unfortunately taking advantage of that and exploiting it. And I think that's kind of what's happened to Wings. Is he the dude's just venting, and then you got these troll channels and trolls that are taking advantage of that, and they eat that up. That's what they enjoy. So it's pretty messed up. Definitely a very messed up thing.
Too many people that don't want to go out and get a job and would rather harass somebody on the internet for 24 hours a day. And even when they have a job, they devote all their free time to ruining somebody else's life just because they're doing what they can't.
I don't think
Exactly.
that
Like,
it's I don't think that it's about I don't think it's about whether somebody has a job or not. I think that there are shitty people that are
That they
going
just
to
get
do
off to that.
shitty
Yeah,
things
that's their
no
enjoyment.
matter what happens.
I'm saying these guys have hacked his PlayStation account, YouTube
Yep.
channel before, all these kinds of things. Like, there's
Well, I
gotta
mean
be a point where you guys have to be tired of like messing with this dude.
I mean, that also harkens back to Friday's episode with the Nicki Minaj fans.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, all of those people, most of those people probably do have jobs. Meanwhile, they took the time out of their busy lives and schedules to figure out where another rapper, where her mother was buried. All right.
Job aside, I feel like these people are terminally online. I think is the best way to put it. Like they take shit on the internet and everything way too
Way too
seriously.
seriously. Way too
Exactly.
seriously.
And not to mention,
That's
I
where
think there should be some sort of safety net here, some sort of thing where this stuff gets looked into, because this is only
Well,
going to get worse with time.
yeah, doxing and stuff has gotten way out of hand.
Swatting is straight
And
up deadly. I mean, that
well,
literally has killed people.
yeah, now they have made legislation for swatting,
Okay.
but doxing
Yeah.
someone's address and shit, like, bro, what?
I know in
Why?
California it is illegal to dox someone, but it's not a federal thing. It's not all states. So
But it's also yeah, California has made legislation for that, but it's not like a felony or anything.
no.
But at the same time, no other state has. You've got the other 49 states that are all like, meh, if you don't want your information out there, you shouldn't be on the internet. And it just goes to show that like the people that are in power of our country are so old that they do not understand how the internet works, how how crazy this actually can be, which they're starting to figure it out because, a few of them have had this happen to them. And, their information and their addresses and their telephone numbers and email addresses and all of that being doxed online.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the thing is like they didn't take any of this seriously at all until it started happening to them.
Not to mention, not everyone has a security team besides them.
Right.
I mean, me, you, Jaboon right here, we don't have a whole moderation security team checking our Twitter, checking our emails, and if anyone has a threat on us, they're going to actually investigate. We don't have that luxury.
Well, not even just that. Like, we're smaller people. We don't have like a majority of people, even if like they're like say someone with 500,000 subs or like a big influencer. Unless like you were actively trying to do so, not a lot of these people have connections with like YouTube or Twitter, all these big platforms. Like they don't have the connection with these big people that have an impact that can
Mm-hmm.
get something done about it.
Yep.
Well, the
Like,
fact that you can have your telephone number, address, all of that stuff doxed over something as simple as over a video game
is absurd. I agree.
is it's absurd, but at the same time, like, if there were laws in place that would hit somebody over the head with like a felony,
Yeah.
because let's be honest, you're doing that to, at the very least, see if somebody will actually go to someone's address.
Well, you're doing it with malicious intent. There's no
Right.
goodwill out of that. You're purely doing it
So,
as a negative outcome. You want something bad to happen.
yep.
It's just disgusting, man. And it feels like it's only gotten easier over the years. And does anybody remember like the news report where I think it was like a father, he got swatted while playing like Call of Duty one night, and they shot him. The SWAT team shot him, and
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
because of the report, the guy called in saying like that he had like a gun to his family's head or
Yep.
something like that. And then the
Yep.
kid goes on a Keemstar's interview the next day, the one that did swatting, saying, Oh, I don't think it's my fault. It's not my fault that he died.
But no, I think that they did charge that kid
He got arrested.
for
They found him. He got
for like
arrested.
filing a
It's good.
false report or
That should
something
be
like that.
involuntary manslaughter right there. That should
It
be
should be
a felony
It
and a
should be,
half.
but that was that was like one of the first cases of
Oh,
swatting that
okay.
actually hit the
Mainstream
world
media.
stage
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
mainstream
It brought
media.
news to it.
But now it's gotten so it had there for a while. It had gotten so common that the SWAT teams were coming in and like as soon as they'd see a computer and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, it's a streamer."
Mhm.
And there's plenty on YouTube where streamers have been swatted and the police and SWAT team comes in and they're all like, "Oh, it's a streamer." And then they'll just be sitting there having a conversation with them while the stream's running because
Yeah.
it got so fucking common.
And not to mention, I think Boogie did this, but there's certain measures I think you can do, but you should never be required to do this. But you can call your local police department and inform them, hey, I'm a streamer, this and this might happen. Just be known that when you guys, if you're coming to check up on this, know that this is a
Please
possibility.
don't kick my door down.
Yeah, exactly,
That's the
stuff
whole
like
thing.
that.
The issue with that is though was like you shouldn't have to do that. This is
Absolutely.
purely online internet, dude.
Yeah.
Like the fact that people are able to get this information so easily, especially off of something as little as like an IP address,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
almost have you killed pretty much.
Yep.
Because of something they don't like online is pitiful.
I
And
think
anybody who does that, you are fucked up.
absolutely. I think the jeez, what am I saying? Not the outcome, but like the okay, I guess the results of doing something like that, the consequences of that should be very much heavier than what they are right now. It should.
I highly agree.
That way, it
Oh,
discourages this.
Like
this
I've been
is
doxxed before over Rainbow Six, dude. It's bad.
wow. Yeah, that's
I've had pizza sent to my house. Like it's bad.
wow.
Hmm.
It
Like,
used to
don't get me
be.
wrong,
Yeah,
that
sorry.
was like the lightest thing that could have happened. But imagine if this guy,
Did
he
they
actually-
pay for said pizza? Or
They
was it
did.
cash on
Oh,
the
they
table?
did.
Pizza.
Okay.
So
Oh,
at the
well,
very
fine.
least, I got a free pizza. But like, imagine if this was somebody with like genuine bad intent, though. That's the whole
Oh,
thing.
That could have been
If
south.
you want
very
to
quickly.
dox me with a free pizza, by all means, go ahead.
Hey, I mean, hey, well, I'll take a freebie.
Yeah.
But ill will, intent to potentially hurt somebody or have somebody scared shitless over a swat. Like swatting is no joke, dude.
No, that's a life and death thing. That's not at all a joke.
Like sending pizza to somebody's house is one thing, or
Mhm.
things like that. But you could have somebody killed or worse over something as little as you not like, or somebody talking shit in like a Call of Duty match, which is how immature are you?
On the scale of
Like-
things, like that's at the bottom.
Like you gotta be a kindergartner to take a
Which-
video game.
These
That's
days, whenever I
seriously-
play COD, I don't even have
Voice
lobby
enabled.
chat
Yeah.
enabled.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it because you either have which it's a multitude of dumbasses that use their PS5 controller and they don't realize that it has a mic in it.
Hmm.
So you hear
So
the
they
game-
don't disable it. So all you hear is just every time they fire their gun
Yeah.
or they're getting struck by a bullet, which is annoying. Like no, I don't want to hear that. Or you have some people with some of the cheapest microphones,
$5
known to man,
mic. Yeah.
you can tell
that
they got this
literally
shit at
have
the
it
dollar store.
instead of having it out here like a normal person, has it shoved so far down their throat. Anytime they breathe, you hear it, and whenever they speak,
Vain.
it is
Bane,
rattling
I mean,
your
Bane.
eardrums.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sound like Bane, like no, officer, there are no drugs here. Like what the actual
so
fuck
true,
are you
though.
people doing?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to everybody bought a Turtle Beach headset if they were on like Xbox or PlayStation? Like
Well, that's the thing is Turtle Beach quality has gotten so bad because
Mm.
that's what most people have is like these little $20-$30 Turtle Beach headsets that the mic quality is already garbage, and then whenever you think that you have to have it deep down in your throat,
Yep.
whenever you talk, it's redlining. It sounds like absolute garbage. Nobody can understand what you're saying anyways. Sounds like you're huffing down a whole box of Twinkies. Like, come on, bro.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And it's like good headsets are more affordable now than ever.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
if you don't
Yeah.
buy like brand, you can go find you a decent headset for like $40.
40,
Speaking of
50 bucks,
actually,
bro. Like,
speaking of
come
good
on.
headsets, guys, Valentine's Day gifts. That's a great
Yeah.
gift right there
That is
for your significant other that, you know, is a gamer, has a PC, talks to friends. Gaming headsets are so cheap right now. We got the HyperX, you know, those are great. HyperX.
HyperX has been really good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, don't worry about what I'm deep throating.
I saw that. Hopefully it's not a microphone.
Hopefully, hey, hopefully it's not a microphone like this.
As long as it's not a microphone, I'm
We're good,
bro.
man. I don't gotta know.
Deep throat anything else, just not a microphone. Or
Right,
at
but
least or at least if it is that, just don't try to talk to me.
But I mean, to go back on that a little bit too, I remember back in the days of Xbox 360 lobbies, the worst that would happen to you is to get DDoSed, right? That was like the worst.
That was like the highest, right?
Yeah.
You get orbital ion cannon.
Yeah,
And like
right.
the best
That's
thing that could happen is that a hacker comes in and does cool shit in your lobby.
right.
You may remember when they'd go into like Modern Warfare 2 or BO2 and put like an infected game mode through mods in the mod menu.
Yeah.
That shit was so
That
much
was so
fun, man.
cool.
Or give you all the camos. Like,
And
I
then
miss when hackers were chill.
exactly, I was about to say, like, what happened to us as a society where we went from like, oh, you know, that DDoS and them all offline for a little bit, for a minute or two, or doing that lobby where you change it to infected. Like, what happened to that? And now we're like threatening
Because
people's
the bar-
lives with
The
swatting.
bar gets raised so much. It just nothing's ever enough. It's the same with money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if someone gets $1 million, they want $1,000,001. If someone gets $1 billion, they want $1,000,001. And that's it.
Yeah, I guess it
Period.
goes
The
back
bar
to
just keeps getting raised.
when's enough, right?
Right.
But no,
But
so
yeah, oh, sorry, go ahead.
on to Valentine's gifts.
Yeah,
You
yeah. So what do we think here?
You know, you could do the headset. You could do if you got
Computer
deep
parts are on
pockets,
sale too.
you can do some computer parts. You can
There
do,
is a
you know,
big
mouse,
price drop
keyboard.
with GPUs. That's a huge
Yes,
thing
there
now.
is.
All GPUs are like coming down in price. It's amazing.
Yes, and that is
Want to
amazing.
upgrade your loved one's graphics card? You know, we got the new 4070 or 4080 Super that just came out.
The whole
actually
super
for
lineup.
almost-
Yeah, there's a
for
super
like
lineup.
just 600. That's a very good deal. If you can
Yeah.
find one in
Yep.
stock, definitely upgrade while you guys have the chance. It's probably never going to get that low again. So,
Probably not.
especially for that performance per price, that is a steal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then we got we got keyboards now that are on sale, the Logitech keyboards, the Corsair K90s and 95, 65, etc. Those are pretty good. What do you guys think would be like a cute little Valentine's Day gift for your significant other than tech stuff? Like, what else would you recommend? I mean, I'm gonna go on a start. I'm gonna say, I think the little heart-shaped boxes of chocolate from Ferrero Rocher, I believe. Those are pretty good. Some orchids.
Yeah, twist smile and he knows what he's getting.
Yeah, some orchids, you know, some
I already did. I got my orchids in my Ferrero chocolates.
right. And then
He's cheating. He's talking about what he's already got. Come on, man.
I mean, isn't today Valentine's Day? So technically it is Valentine's
tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, gotcha.
It
And then
technically will be by the time we're done.
he's got an expensive little gift on his wrist. That's also a good one. An Apple Watch.
The Apple Watch.
Yeah. So, you know, those are some pretty cool gifts, I would say. What do you guys think? What do you recommend?
I recommend, you know, if your significant other hasn't already gotten this, I recommend the little like forever rose that's inside of the little
Yeah.
dome
Yeah,
that
those are
lights
affordable
up.
too, right? Yeah.
Those are really affordable. They're really, really cute, and they last for forever.
Well,
as
yeah,
long as you
forever,
change
right.
the batteries.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a good, nice little cute, air quotes romantic gift that you could do. And you know, they go from affordable to, you know, not
so
too
much,
pricey,
but yeah.
but you know, you can get the fully glass ones and stuff, and those are really cool too. So
And you can just
what
display
about
it.
you,
Very
Jaboo?
nice.
For me with Valentine's Day gifts, I mean, I can't say much. I'm single this Valentine's, but what I would usually get, um, I try to think about, my partner that I'm with. Like, I'll get him like, to start the typical, you gotta get the box of chocolates. You gotta get the typical deal. But then, I'll follow it up like a little gift box or things that, are kind of personalized. What was it last year? I got my partner, it was like a Totoro blanket and some little plushies. I got them like this really big plague doctor. I think it was Mashables or like, Squishmallow. It was a
Squishmallow. Ah,
yeah,
yeah, I know the
Squishmallows are
plague
good.
doctor that you're
Yeah.
talking about. The
yeah, it's
Squishmallow
the
plague
pink
doctor.
one. Yeah.
Yep.
I got the black one and then she got like the white one. It was a nice gift. It's just for me, it's a matter of being thoughtful. And of course you gotta get the traditional stuff. But if you want to go a little extra mile, get things that are personal that are between you and your partner that you know that she'll like and she'll think about you whenever she's got it. Just
Mm-hmm.
things that are like between you guys. At least it's the way I see it.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Very
very
good. You don't have to
personal
break the
holiday.
bank, as Jabun said.
Exactly.
Just
You
something
don't
personal.
break the bank.
Mhm.
You don't have to break the bank for anniversary, for Valentine's, anything like that. Just make sure it's something that's from the heart, dude.
Yeah.
That's all
It
you gotta
depends
do.
on what anniversary.
Fair enough. But like
I think the
we're just
5,
talking
10 year,
Valentine's Days.
20
Of
year.
course, like the increments
Those are
like
pretty.
that make
Those are pretty
sense.
big.
Those
yeah.
are big deals.
Yeah, that's very true. And I mean, let's not forget, going a night out, dinner.
You
A
gotta have
Valentine's Day
dinner too.
dinner is pretty
dinner's
good. I wouldn't complain.
I mean, for me, I cooked at home on Valentine's Day. It's what I like to do.
That's
I
what
like
I did
cooking,
this
like,
one.
A nice good meal.
Yeah, that's what I did this one.
Oh, what did you make? What did you make for Valentine's Day?
So I had some pork shoulder. So I made some pulled pork and I did some teriyaki chicken cutlets with some grilled
Teriyaki
veggies on the side. A little bit of wine, a fake candle.
Couldn't even get the real candle. Come on now.
You had to throw the fake candle in there. You could have just set a candle. Like, damn.
I gotta be a little cheesy. Yeah.
Come on, man. At least get a real candle. It's not that expensive.
Oh, we have plenty of real candles.
Brian, come in with the guests. Feed me. That's all I need for Valentine's Day. Honestly,
Agreed. Honestly,
all I need is a good meal and time with my partner.
That's it.
What I cooked for Valentine's Day last year, I didn't cook. I haven't cooked anything this year, of course. But I cooked. Actually, I did a beef Wellington for the first time.
A beef Wellington?
Yeah, dude.
Damn,
I love to cook in my free time.
Okay, that's a pretty complicated dish.
It's a little bit of a process,
Yeah.
but dude, it is so good.
So you completely did it.
Yeah, dude. I didn't realize how good like a beef Wellington.
Oh
is
yeah.
until, I actually did it myself because I hadn't had one prior. Maybe I'm like thinking, oh.
I feel like Gordon Ramsay's about to pop out of your background and ask you if you're an idiot
Right.
sandwich.
You're an idiot
donut! You fucking donut!
Dang, how long did it take you to make that? Because it's a pretty intense
it's a pretty intense process.
Yeah.
I think because I was taking my time on mine. Mine took about like 2 or so hours. That's because I really wanted to make sure I did everything right. So
Right.
it could be quicker, could be longer. I think it just depends on what you're going for. And I had a little, I made sure that we have Jabun Ramsey in here, boys. You got that right. Jabun Ramsey. I'll have the white shirt for next episode.
Hey, there you go. Get the chef hat.
I'll get the chef hat too.
Yep.
You'll see me on Jabun Nightmares.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
I'm about to coin that for the next.
Did you guys know? I actually heard that the chef hat the pillars, I guess, the little the little roughs or edges. Each one of those indicates a different way that chef knows how to cook an egg. Did you know that?
Really?
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
I did not know that.
So is that why sometimes you see an egg in a chef's hat?
Shut up, Jabun.
Am I wrong? You were telling me you ever seen where they pull the egg out the hat? Like, am I wrong?
Yeah. In Hibachi Girl, yeah.
Dude, them hibachi guys are something else. That could be something. That could be a place to take somebody for Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's a genius one.
That's
pleats. Yeah, the
I
pleats. Yeah, you got it, Noah. Yep.
Yeah, that's where I took him last Valentine's Day.
So
Was to Osaka Hibachi Grill.
Yes, we had an Osaka down in when I was living in Alabama. That place was so good, dude.
Oh, dude.
The rice is the bomb.
Yeah, the steak bits, the chicken katsu. It's all.
Have you had their onion soup at all? Their onion soup.
Yeah, their onion soup is really good.
So good.
It's super good.
We had some like mango sake. Was it mango? I think.
Yeah, it was
delicious.
It was mango sake, and then they also had like a peach sake as
Something
well.
like
We
that,
didn't
yeah.
try it though.
Yeah. I got to
But yeah,
try
it
that
was, it
peach
was
one
real
because
good.
that was good. It was delicious.
And I like their decor. I don't know about in other people's area, but in our area, the decor was real nice. They had real low lighting, but you know, it was
Did they
Sets
have
the
a big gong in
mood.
the front door when you guys come in? They had that at
Gong.
mine.
I don't
It
think
was like a
so.
big
yeah, they
gong.
did.
Oh, they did?
They had
Okay.
it was positioned in front of the big ass fountain that
Yeah,
they
they had
had.
a fountain, and like some of them I think will have a pond. Mine had like a little pond there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And,
Hello, James or MJ. Hello. He said, "Oh my God, they are alive." Yes, we are indeed alive.
I'm recovering from ligma, as everybody on the podcast knows. I did
Ligma.
unfortunately get ligma, but I'm here. Yeah, we are alive, and we're having a great time. Before Valentine's Day, talking about what you guys should do for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Learn from our experiences. Take them to hibachi. Take them out to a fancy Italian restaurant. Whatever you want to do.
Ooh,
And if
Italian's
you
always
are
good.
single, if you are single this Valentine's Day, don't worry. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not even a bad thing. Me, whenever I was single during Valentine's Day, I'd just throw on a good comedy. I would still buy myself a box of chocolates.
Treat yourself.
I would sit back, eat my chocolates, snuggle up to my Valentine's Day bear I bought myself, and laugh my ass off. It's a good comedy show.
That's
I will say,
definitely.
guys, as someone who's been through some rocky relationships and on my own on Valentine's Day, especially this year, as great as the holiday is, it's not that big of a deal if you don't have somebody for it. Don't feel like you were obligated to be with somebody on Valentine's Day or that you have to celebrate it. Like, just enjoy the day and make sure that you're happy with yourself and what's going on with your life.
Yeah.
Like, don't let it be that
Exactly.
big of a deal. There's
It's
always better times. You can always celebrate it in the future with someone else. But for now, just worry about yourself and enjoy yourself. 'Cause at the end of the day, you matter most. Like, you got to make sure you care about yourself.
What an amazing message to end on right there. That is
Yep.
truly well spoken. Let's see here. MJ came in. I was going to cook my friend who's also single a meal I know she likes. And I can't read the other thing, but she's in the hospital.
She's in the hospital.
Oh, I am so sorry about that. I hope she feels better. Sending you good positive thoughts. But that's very nice of you to think of. Even if it's for a friend, it's a special day of love and just caring. So, even having lunch or like a little meal with a friend, perfectly fine. At the end of the day, it's all about love, loving yourself, showing love to others. So, I think on that note, guys, it's a little bit of a short episode, but we didn't have too many topics, and I have some errands to run. But thank you all for joining us. MJ, I'm sorry you came in at the end, but I'm gonna upload this whole thing for you so you can watch the beginning. Thank you all for joining us. Again, thank you for the new chatters. We have Noah, James or MJ as we know him, and Al. Thank you for that submission. We really thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. And feel free to suggest more topics. You can catch us on Spotify, on YouTube, and hopefully thank you so much, Noah. And hopefully next Tuesday we'll have another episode out.
And just remember, guys, we also are sponsored by ourselves at Team Twisted. So if you guys ever want to give suggestions in there or come stop by a loving community, we are there as well.
Discord.gg/Team Twisted.
We're always there.
Mm-hmm.
But that aside, thank you guys for tuning in to our You'll Have That episode number. Was it 5?
Yep, 5. Season 1, episode 5.
And, around Valentine's Day too, hopefully this is a good gift for the spouse or the girl and you.
And then
take it easy, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
And you'll have that.
And you'll have that.
Sure
have a
will.
good night, guys.
All right, see you guys.